it's just going to be me and you.
What about Wee Wee?
We'll have to ask Grandpa to take care of her.
So the little boy and Sharky Piggy went to go find the little boy's dad, but instead they ran into the Mama Love Island.
If you don't cooperate, I come back with a court order and an officer to escort me.
You stay the hell away from my son.
I will carry on this weightless. I will carry on this weightless. I will carry on this weightless.
I can love unconditionally.
Hey guys, All the Way with Alloway here at the Dallas International Film Festival with the writer, director, filmmaker behind the film Flutter, Eric Hueber. So you said that your mom passed away in 2010, which sort of led you to make this film, which wasn't really an expected path for you to take. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, you know, after she passed, I just felt I lost such a life force in my life, and I wanted to. I realized as an aspiring filmmaker that so much of my creative force, so much of the foundation of my being was just based on the foundation she gave me as a child, the validation, the creative validation, the flights of fancy that she never tried to squash, that she always nurtured. And I just wanted to make a movie about a woman who, from an outsider perspective, seemed incredibly flawed, but from the inside perspective of her relationship with her child, was doing things right. And that was, I guess, for me, on a personal aspect, for what the film is to me, I wanted to do a film that was kind of a celebration of this just silent sacrifices that women make on behalf of children, especially, in the situation of the film, she becomes, somewhat of a single parent because the father has left the family and chasing a career as a musician. So she's put in this circumstance, and she's not educated. She's making hard decisions based on her frame of reference, the best that she knows how, but she's trying to do what is right.
This is a relationship that we see mothers and son on screen, but not a lot, not where what you're talking about drives the story. And this one is so specific. So tell me a little about your main character on the poster right here. You're related to him, and he actually suffers from the disease that he suffers from in the film. So tell me about casting a family member in your movie.
It was interesting. Like, I've always wanted to film Jonathan. He's my nephew. He's a unique looking kid, and his eyes flutter. He has nystagmus. So I didn't know whether he could handle a role. I did a pretty extensive screen test and we acted out a short story. My friend Rebecca Thomas came in and helped me do that. And Jonathan was great, and at that point I was like, this is it. I mean, he can do it. He did a wonderful job. I mean, he's a kid. Kids, they're in the moment. The hardest thing that you have to do with working with a kid is get them to comprehend why we're doing a fourth and fifth take, why it wasn't right. But
Rainbow Zen. You use this to sort of get people on board for the feature, which is how you got Glenn and then Jesse Plemons. So tell me about your path.
So we were at the Dallas International Film Festival in 2011 with my first film, Rainbow Zen, and I already had Glenn Morshower pegged. I wanted him to play the grandfather. I had people that knew him. My publicist, she hounded him and got him to come to our screening. Afterward he came up to me and said, "I loved your movie. You're a talented guy. I'd love to work with you." And I was like, the feeling's mutual. So we got him the script and the screen test with Jonathan, and when he saw it, he's like, "I want to do this." Surprise, surprise. So we were excited, and then he was like, "No, I want to." We didn't have money, so he's like, "I want to produce." So he really got the ball rolling, and it was Yeah.
And he is also Jesse Plemons, who's in the film, father on Friday Night Lights, and they sort of look like, this kid as well, so it's sort of perfect. But tell me about getting Jesse on board and sort of how he breathed light into the script, because we were talking earlier and he sounds like he was such a breath of fresh air.
Well, we needed an intermediary between between Jonathan and Glenn, and we needed a man who's a musician. I wanted the father to be legitimately talented. Like he's chasing a legitimate dream. He's not just abandoning his family without reason, entirely without reason. So I mean, Jesse was a no-brainer. You know, I mean, he's a dead ringer, and he's extraordinarily talented musician. You know, people who are familiar with his music in Cowboy and Indian. So it's you know, and you know, he's an Austin, you know, somewhat of an Austin guy. So I was able to get the script to him, you know, through resources that we had and friends that we had, and he looked at it and he liked it. So he came on. It was quite a blessing.
So you shot in Texas. Tell me a little bit about the locations you used, and talking to other Texas filmmakers, they're always saying that people were so willing to offer their time and their space. So what were sort of the benefits of getting a movie like this made in Texas?
Well, you know, it was a benefit. You know, we shot in the Bastrop, Smithville, Georgetown area, and people really, they were great. You know, we went through several rural locations, and we actually saw places that we wanted to film, went and knocked on doors, cold called people, and turned out to be there's a couple named Mike and Snow Alloway. They are just amazing. Like they came out, they provided us with a tractor. They were there throughout, and just all excited that, you know, we wanted to film at their pond, you know, and
in LA they'd be like, go away, get away from my house.
Yeah. No, we hung out at their place. They wanted us to come over for barbecue and beer, so it was
amazing.
Yeah.